Watching now Buddha's wisdom, do this one thing, and fortune will find you. Everyone must have thought about this at least once. Some people seem to have everything go well for them, and good opportunities keep coming. So why doesn't that happen to me? Is luck something predetermined, or can it be changed through effort? We often see lucky people around us, even though we started from similar environments. Some people always seize good opportunities and live happy lives, while others continue to struggle in the same situations. Some people say that luck is something you are born with. People who are born with a silver spoon, or grow up with good parents and receive a good education, might think that they are living such a life because they are lucky. But is that really the case? Do lucky people succeed simply because of their innate fortune? Or is it their special habits and attitudes that attract luck? The Buddha spoke about luck in this way: when the mind is clear, the world is clear. When the mind is dark, the world becomes dark. This statement means that luck is not simply something that comes from the heavens, but something we create ourselves. It means that the energy and flow of luck around me change depending on the mindset and attitude I have. The Buddha taught that luck arises from my mindset and actions. A person who looks at the world with clarity, builds good relationships, speaks kindly, and puts their best effort into even small tasks will ultimately attract good fortune. So, what habits do lucky people have? What do they practice differently? And how do they create a positive flow? From now on, we will examine the habits of people who are fortunate through the teachings of the Buddha. If you understand and practice these teachings better, fortune will accompany your life as well. One day, a disciple came to the Buddha with deep concerns. "Buddha, it seems that my life is not going well. Even if I work hard, I don't get the results I want. And it seems like others easily get opportunities. Why am I so unlucky?" The Buddha quietly smiled and spoke. "Do you think luck is something that falls from the sky?" The disciple pondered for a while and then cautiously replied, "Isn't luck something you are born with? Some people are born into good environments, while others seem unable to escape difficult situations, no matter how hard they try." The Buddha quietly gazed at the pond and called his disciple. "Look at this pond. On clear days, the water looks clean, and on cloudy days, doesn't muddy water rise?" The disciple nodded. "Yes, that's right. Luck is the same way. Depending on the mindset and attitude I live with, my luck can become clear, like clean water, or dark, like muddy water." Lucky people do not simply have a lot of blessings. They possess the mindset and habits that attract those blessings. The disciple deeply contemplated the Buddha's words and asked, "So what habits do lucky people have? I also want to be lucky." The Buddha spoke with a warm smile. People who are lucky tend to have a few common habits. Among them, the most important is how they use their words and thoughts. From now on, I will teach you that method of speaking positively. Words become fortune. The Buddha placed a small seed in the palm of his hand and asked his disciple, "What do you think this seed will become when it is planted in the ground?" The disciple answered, "When influenced by the earth and receiving sunlight, it will sprout and gradually grow into a tree." The Buddha nodded and said, "That's right. If a seed is planted in good soil, a healthy tree will grow. But if it is planted in poor soil, it will not grow properly." The same goes for our words. Words that come out of our mouths are like seeds. If we speak good words, we bear good fruits, and if we speak bad words, we bear bad fruits. The disciple listened to the Buddha's teachings and contemplated them deeply. "So does that mean that I decide my own fate?" The Buddha spoke with a gentle smile and said, "Yes, people who are lucky tend to say positive things, while those who are unlucky often say negative things, even in the same situation. This will also be a learning experience. The fate of those who say, "Why do I have to go through this?" is different from those who say, "This will also be a learning experience." The disciple quietly nodded, recalling his usual speech habits. "Buddha, I sometimes speak badly, and often grumble or complain. Could those words have been making my luck worse?" The Buddha quietly smiled and spoke, "If I sprinkle poison on the plant every day, will it grow well?" The disciple shook his head in surprise and said, "No. If you give a plant water with poison, it will wither away." That's exactly it. Bad words are like giving poison to the roots of my luck. On the contrary, good words become the nutrients that strengthen luck. So if I want good luck, I must first develop the habit of speaking good words. The disciple deeply realized and vowed, "Buddha, from now on, I will be careful with my words and strive to speak more good words." The Buddha spoke with a contented smile. That is the first way to change your luck. Have a heart full of gratitude. In moments of gratitude, luck changes. The disciple realized that one should speak well, but still felt that their luck might not change easily. "Buddha, while it is important to speak well, my life is still difficult, and I often feel that I have bad luck. What should I do in that case?" The Buddha took his disciples up to a small hill, and he asked his disciple, "What am I looking at right now?" The disciple answered while looking around, "I can see green trees and a clear sky." The Buddha nodded and asked again, "Now close your eyes," said the Buddha, and the disciple closed his eyes. As the Buddha spoke quietly, "What do you see now?" The disciple answered in confusion, "I see nothing." The Buddha spoke quietly with a smile. "Those who say they are unlucky are like people living with their eyes closed. In fact, they already have many things, but they live complaining without seeing them. However, lucky people have a heart full of gratitude for what they have now. That heart of gratitude brings about even more good fortune." The disciple asked again in admiration, "So how can I develop a habit of gratitude?" The Buddha answered quietly, "Every evening, reflect on the things you were grateful for today. Even small things are good. Being able to eat warm meals and spending the day healthily, receiving someone's kindness. If you accumulate a grateful heart day by day, your fortune will gradually brighten." The disciple bowed deeply and said, "Buddha, from now on, I will live by recalling things I am grateful for every day. I believe that this grateful heart will change my fortune." The Buddha spoke with a warm smile, saying, "Yes, in the moment of gratitude, your fortune will begin to change. People who are lucky are not born with special abilities. They create their own luck through the habit of speaking kind words and having a grateful heart. Starting today, just by changing a single word or your mindset, your destiny can change. Like the teachings of the Buddha, start speaking kind words and cultivating a grateful heart. From this very moment, then good luck will follow in your life as well." The habits of people who are lucky. The ongoing dialogue between the Buddha and his disciple. The disciple gained enlightenment by listening to the Buddha's teachings. However, one question still remained. "Buddha, I understood that having good words and a habit of gratitude brings good luck. But will good things come just by waiting quietly? How should lucky people seize opportunities and live their lives?" The Buddha spoke quietly with a smile. "Those who are fortunate do not simply wait for good luck. They have the habit of taking action when opportunities arise, building good relationships, and doing their best in even the small things. From now on, I will tell you that method: take action when opportunities come. Luck follows those who take action." The Buddha went out with his disciples to a wide field, and he pointed to a spot and said, Look at those two rocks over there. One has been in the same place for a long time, while the other flows with the current and moves to new places. Which rock do you think has more experiences? The disciple answered without hesitation. Of course, the rock that moves with the current will experience more and encounter various environments. The Buddha nodded and spoke. The same goes for a person's fortune. For those who remain still, there will be no changes and no opportunities will come. However, for those who move, that is, those who create change and take on challenges, new opportunities follow. The disciple nodded and asked back, "Then how can I seize opportunities?" Well, the Buddha answered with a smile, "Opportunities always come to those who are prepared. Lucky people do not stumble upon opportunities by chance. They were ready to seize those opportunities. Cultivate the habit of taking action without missing even small opportunities." The disciple deeply realized and vowed, "Buddha, I will not miss the opportunities given to me from now on. I will cherish even small opportunities and take action with gratitude." The Buddha spoke with a contented smile. "Then you will no longer be someone who waits for luck, but someone who creates it." The Buddha's teaching on changing luck. After hearing the Buddha's teachings, the disciple still had questions. "Buddha, I learned that it is important to speak positively, cultivate a habit of gratitude, seize opportunities, and take action. However, there are still many people who struggle despite their efforts and do not have good luck. What should unlucky people do to change their fortune?" The Buddha spoke quietly with a smile. "Luck is not something that falls from the sky. It is something that people create. If you want good luck, you must first become a good person, accumulate blessings, and know how to change the flow. When luck is bad, the disciple wanted to deeply engrave the Buddha's words and learn how to change their luck. The Buddha spoke quietly. "From now on, I will teach you how to change your luck. You must accumulate blessings to change your fortune." The Buddha spoke while walking through the village with his disciples. Being lucky ultimately means having a lot of blessings. A person with many blessings finds opportunities even in difficulties, and someone wants to help him, leading to good things coming naturally. The disciple asked quietly, "Then how can one accumulate blessings?" The Buddha pointed to an old man by the roadside. The old man was struggling to walk while carrying a heavy load. The disciple, hearing the Buddha's words, approached the old man and lifted the burden for him. The old man looked at the disciple with grateful eyes and expressed his thanks. When the disciple returned, the Buddha smiled and spoke, "What I just did is exactly how to accumulate blessings. Blessings are not something grand. When small acts of kindness accumulate, they brighten my life and bring good fortune." The disciple nodded as if he understood. "Then I will consistently practice even small acts of kindness. From now on, that will ultimately be the way to change my fortune." The Buddha spoke with a satisfied smile, saying, "Indeed, the giver receives the greatest blessings. During times of bad luck, one must change the flow." The disciple asked again, "Buddha, but some people do good deeds, and their luck does not change easily. What should we do when we feel unlucky?" The Buddha quietly looked at the pond and spoke, "What happens when water collects in a pond?" The disciple answered, "The water rots and becomes dirty. Likewise, a person's fortune is the same. If you stay in one place, your energy gets blocked, and your fortune is bound to stagnate. When you feel unlucky, you need to change the flow." The disciple quietly asked back, "What does it mean to change the flow?" The Buddha spoke with a smile. "Do not cling to the past. Instead, create new habits and move towards a new environment. When luck is not on your side, it is important to change what you are doing. Change your thoughts, tidy up your surroundings and seek new connections. The disciple nodded and said, "Then I will no longer dwell on the past and will practice change to create a better flow." The Buddha spoke with a pleased smile. Everything changes. Bad luck can change. If you want good luck, you must first become a good person. The disciple asked one last time, "Buddha, I am beginning to understand how to change my luck little by little. Then, what should I value the most in order to truly obtain good fortune?" The Buddha spoke quietly. Good fortune ultimately goes to good people. The disciple quietly reflected on the Buddha's words. What does it mean that good fortune goes to good people? The Buddha lit a small candle and said, "Look at this candle. Even in the dark, if there is a candle, the light spreads, and people naturally gather around it. The same goes for good people. For those who live with a kind heart, giving generously, and with an honest and sincere attitude, good relationships and fortune naturally come their way." The disciple quietly nodded. "Then I will first become a good person." I realized that being a good person brings good fortune. The Buddha smiled warmly and spoke one last time. Blessings follow those with a kind heart, while calamity follows those with greed. If you want to change your fortune, first, clear your mind, and then your luck will naturally change. The disciple bowed deeply and vowed, "Buddha, I now know how to change my fortune. From now on, I will work hard to accumulate blessings and create new changes to become a better person." The Buddha smiled contentedly and said, "In that case, your luck has already begun to change." The disciple gained deep enlightenment after listening to the Buddha's teachings. However, there was still one last thing I wanted to be sure of. "Buddha, I have now realized that luck is something we create for ourselves. However, many people still believe that their fate is predetermined and do not even attempt to change. Is it really true that luck can change for anyone?" The Buddha quietly smiled and placed a small seed in the palm of his hand. "Look at this seed. If you just leave it alone, nothing will happen, but if you plant it in good soil and give it water and sunlight, won't it grow?" The disciple quietly nodded. "Yes, that's right. However, not all seeds grow into something big. Some may not sprout because they encounter storms or are stepped on by someone." The Buddha looked at his disciple with gentle eyes and said, "That's right. However, if you don't plant the seeds, nothing will grow in the first place. Luck is the same. Luck is not something that falls from the sky. It depends on how I cultivate it." The disciple quietly repeated, as if he had deeply realized it, "Luck is not something that falls from the sky. It is something I create." The Buddha nodded and spoke, "Changing one's luck does not require any special abilities. It starts with changing daily habits." The disciple was deeply moved and asked again, "Then Buddha, what habits should I have to create good fortune?" The Buddha spoke with a smile, speaking kind words, acting with a grateful heart, creating good relationships, and starting with small actions. This is the true way to attract good fortune. The disciple bowed deeply and vowed, "Buddha, from now on, I will speak kind words, maintain a grateful heart, take action without missing opportunities, surround myself with good people, and live a life that starts with small actions." The Buddha spoke with a warm smile. "Then good fortune will surely follow in my life, because luck is not something you wait for, but something you create for yourself." Everyone, how can we recognize the signals when good luck is approaching? While we sometimes need to distance ourselves from people with negative energy, it's also important to notice the signals of good luck coming our way. The flow of life is always changing, and there are moments when signs of unexpected good things may begin to appear. So, what changes might occur around us and within our hearts when good luck is approaching. If such signs appear, it means that good things are coming your way. 1. You suddenly feel lighter. If the worries and anxieties that have been weighing on your heart diminish at some point, and you feel light for no particular reason, it could be a sign that good luck is on its way. The process of unknowingly releasing negative energy and beginning to accept better vibes has started. 2. Unexpected help and opportunities will come. You may experience situations where problems that were difficult to solve alone suddenly start to resolve, or help comes from unexpected places. Small fortunes can accumulate and lead to increasingly larger opportunities. If you feel this flow, it means good luck is coming your way. 3. Your relationships will be sorted out. There are times when you naturally drift away from certain people and new connections come into your life instead. At first, it might feel disappointing, but this could be a process of sorting things out for better encounters with good people. Good fortune sometimes comes when we clear unnecessary connections. 4. It feels like the body and mind are being organized. There are times when I suddenly feel the urge to tidy up the house more than usual, or want to declutter unnecessary items. This is a natural change to embrace new energy. It's the same when you feel your body becoming lighter and your health improving. If you feel such changes, it means you are ready to welcome good fortune. Your intuition becomes sharper in moments when you're unsure about what choice to make. There are times when you instinctively feel that this path is the right one, and that choice gradually leads in a positive direction. This is a sign that we have begun to ride the flow of luck. When such good luck approaches, small changes begin to occur around us and within our hearts. The important thing is to recognize this signal well and accept it with a positive mindset. If you are feeling such changes right now, it might mean that good luck is on its way. Fill your heart with warmth today as well. Changing your luck is not a grand task. The difference between lucky and unlucky people starts with their small daily habits. What I say today, the mindset I have today, and the way I act today, the connections I make today, and the small actions I practice today will determine my fortune tomorrow. Like the teachings of the Buddha, speak good words, have a grateful heart, take action when opportunities arise, create good relationships, and start by practicing the small things. If you practice like that day by day, good fortune will naturally follow in your life. I hope today will be a day where you create good fortune as well. Thank you.